What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. It is Wednesday edition. It is June 18th. We are back. We're already past halfway of June, past halfway through 2025 already. We're inching our way towards the dog days of summer in a little bit. I know it hasn't started, but that means we're going to start getting into NFL, and we cannot wait. So if you are new to the channel, you might notice the video is a little bit longer. There's chapters that you guys can skip through and you can check it out, but we do a deep dive. So this is your first look into a deep dive for this slate, or for this day, I should say. There's 2 slates early, I think 3 games early. The rest are on the main slate, but we are ready to go. If you've never been here before, we also try to have giveaways every single day. Here's how you can win. You gotta like the video, you gotta be a subscriber to the channel, and you gotta leave a comment. You do all of that, and you guys get this video at least 50 likes, which I know we can do. You will have a chance to win a free week of FTA+. That is a week of all sports, not just MLB. So MLB, NASCAR, PGA, and MMA is what we currently offer. If this video gets at least 100 likes, that's a free month, 150 likes, a free year, 200 or more likes on the video, a chance at a lifetime pass. And the second way to win, somewhere in the video, there'll be a keyword or a key phrase. Listen for it, type it in, and try to win again. You could win twice. We have not had it in a minute, but we can. So we're going to have the 2 giveaways, or maybe the 1 giveaway, depending. Right now, from yesterday's video, we had over 50 likes, we had over 30 comments, and we had over 600 views. So we are ready to rock and roll. So this is just for getting the minimum of 50 views, not anything else, even if the keyword is there. So William Fasanella, congratulations. Del Taco, Tuesday, my favorite taco. So I think a couple of you may have saw someone type taco and thought it was Taco Tuesday, which was not the keyword. So this is why I know some people maybe didn't watch the whole video when they typed their comment, or you guys just called it Taco Tuesday. I'm not 100% sure, but William, you still won your free pass for the views. So please email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. Email is in the description of this video, along with our absolutely free Discord, and put in the subject line, you are the 617 video views winner, and we will get your account up to par. So we are going to re-roll it for the keyword. The keyword was outfit or outfit chain, just what it was towards the end of yesterday's video. There you go, David Steele, congratulations. The name doesn't sound familiar as someone who has won recently, so congratulations if you are new. All you got to do, like this video, email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, say you, in the subject line, you are the 617 keyword winner, and then if you have a username on our website, which is FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, let me know that. If you do not, just let me know a username, email, and password, and we will get you set up for your free week. It's that easy. If you are new to the channel, we run 10,000 simulations in the background. So everything we're going to talk about are through 10,000 sims. And by the time the main slate locks, about an hour or 2, we've updated 20,000 sims and try to give you guys as much up-to-date information as we can. So we're going to go through every single game that we can. Then after that, we are going to give you all of our batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through 10,000 sims. It does update and change after 20,000 sims. Then we're going to do Pitches Be Crazy. Then we're going to do the Makin Bacon bets, where we look at some of the bets. And then finally, it is a suggestion. So I put these videos out the night before to give you guys a first look. I'm going to try to start building DraftKings lineups, but I cannot build Fanduel lineups because Fanduel doesn't get their next day slate up until like 3 a.m. my time. So, or like 2 a.m. my time or something like that. So these videos will have DraftKings in them. When we do the top 5 videos that come out in the morning, that's when I can build both FanDuel and DraftKings. So without further ado, let's rock and roll. We do have some weather concerns, but we actually have some pretty good odds for home runs in these ballparks. So MLB tab, we're going to look at this and you're going to see we have everything under here, but we're kind of going to go with the ballpark factors. Right now, Great American Small Park, Minnesota at Cincinnati, hot and humid, the wind is blowing out. Got a 36% chance of home runs right now. Nationals Park has 18% chance. Sutter Health Park, Houston at the Athletics, that is a minor league ballpark, 34% chance of home runs. Yankee Stadium, 29% chance for home runs. Guaranteed Rate Field, St. Louis at the White Sox, we've got 28% chance of home runs. Steinbrenner Field, very hot, very humid in a minor league ballpark, 21% chance for home runs. Wrigley Field, Milwaukee at Chicago Cubs, 17% chance. And then Dodger Stadium, San Diego at the Dodgers, we got a 12% chance of home runs there. So we're going to look at the early slate. We've got some great pitching on this early slate. You got Garrett Crochet versus Luis Castillo. Both are in great spots because the Red Sox strike out the third most out of any team. The Seattle Mariners strike out the fourth most out of any team. I would definitely look at both of them. You can see career-wise, 55 plate appearances for Crochet, 234 batting average. Then Castillo, 32 plate appearances, 133 batting average, 37.5 K percentage, where Crochet has a 30.9 K percentage. I'm not looking at bats in that one. I'm definitely looking at both pitching. Obviously, Garrett Crochet is your number one. He's going to be very expensive. But the best pitchers are on this early slate. Castillo, for the Red Sox, I would look at that as well. But neither team, I'm not looking at pitching there. I don't know if I'm going to play this early slate. I might just look at like sports betting, like Garrett Crochet for 6+ strikeouts, Luis Castillo for 6+, whatever the simulations are showing towards the end. Pirates at the Tigers, you got Andrew Heaney versus Tarek Skubal. So Skubal comes in, 34 plate appearance to 188. We know he's a stud. Heaney's kind of on the other end. I'm using Skubal, and then I would use Detroit bats. So depends on the bats that are in there. Javi Baez, Parker Meadows, Spencer Torkelson, Gleyber Torres, for sure. Those are 4 right off the bat. You got Zach McKinstry. You've got other ones that you could use in this situation too. So kind of watch the lineup there. I think the Tigers are probably going to be either the first or the second highest owned stack on this early slate. I don't want anything to do with Heaney for cash. You could throw him in there for tournaments because his ownership's going to be so low, but just because of how much great pitching that everyone else is going to be on, I'm probably just on Skubal and not on Heaney right here. And then Philly at the Marlins, Ranger Suarez versus to be announced. I'm looking at Suarez, obviously, as the pitcher here. We don't know who Miami's going to put in there, and that's kind of the problem. So it would be a Philly stack just like we did on Monday and Tuesday, or whenever it was, Tuesday night. Miami, I don't trust them. I'd rather go Suarez here, and then I would rather go Philly bat. So Castellanos did not play on Tuesday because he talked bad about his coach, apparently, or his manager, I should say. Probably back in here, so he's always up there. Bryson Stott is questionable, but I'd look at him. Schwarber is in there. Real Muto is another one I would look at. Edmundo Sosa, if he's in there. There's some cheap options there. And again, it's very dependent on who the Miami Marlins are going to throw out there for pitching. So that is kind of where I'm at there. And then the final game of this slate, you got German Marquez versus Mitchell Parker. I really don't trust Mitchell Parker in cash, but if you want to throw him in there because Colorado's going to be the worst team in baseball after the end of the season, and they struck out the second most out of any team, maybe a little bit of exposure to him, and then I would stack Washington. So I would stack James Wood, CJ Abrams, probably Alex Call, Nate Lowe. You could look at Brady House. I don't know if he's going to be in there, but that's definitely one to look at. So to reiterate the early slate, obviously Crochet, Castillo, Skubal, and Suarez are the cash. You could look at Mitchell Parker for tournaments. You may be able to look at Andrew Heaney for tournaments because Detroit's going to be a very heavily owned stack, and you would have exposure above the field if he goes off for somehow and everyone's on Detroit for the day. So that's the early slate done. Now we're going to look at the main slate. We got the Angels at the Yankees. We got Jack Kachanowicz versus Ryan Yarbrough here. Still can't believe Yarbrough is still starting for the Yankees. Kind of wild, but we're going to use Outlier to dig into the main slate. So with Outlier, the link is to sign up in our description. You're going to get a 7-day free trial, and you're going to see exactly what we can see here. I've had people ask, why am I showing this if they don't need me if I use this? This is good for like BVP and stuff like that, but if you want simulations, you want actual projections, you want our insight, our cheat sheet, the top plays we like at each position, that is what you can get for $10 a month. So if you use our link, you're going to get a 7-day free trial to their premium package. After 7 days, if you sign up to their normal package using our link, we are going to give you a free week of FTA Plus. If you sign up for their premium package, we're going to give you a free month on top of it. So we can look at both of these. We can look at, we'll go over here. We'll look and break it down. So we got Yarbrough coming in, 3.96 ERA. Home games, he does have a 7.27 ERA, so he has been worse at home. Against Boston, 10.3, obviously not enough. He had a stretch of 3 good games here where we were really enjoying. He got 5 innings, got there. But the last 2 games against Boston didn't do ideal. The one against Dodgers surprised, I think, everybody here. So the Angels do strike out the most out of any team. So they're striking out over 9.5 times a game and on the road. Yarbrough for tournaments at 6,500, I'm okay with. Then you got, or has he faced them at all? Because I know the Yankees played the Angels before. Yeah, he faced them, went 6 innings against them, 2 hits allowed, 1 earned run, got 27.7 fantasy points. Now, that was back, did I miss it? That was back on May 26th. 6 innings for him, 5-1 win, right before he pitched against the Dodgers. And that's kind of what I would expect. If we could get, when on DraftKings, we're looking for about 25 to 30 fantasy points for each pitcher. He's in a great spot. He's under 7K. He's underperformed his last 2 games. The Angels put up 1 run on Monday. I really like Yarbrough here as long as the weather holds up. Then you got Jack Kachanowicz. He did face the Yankees before. 6.2 innings, 4 earned runs, 5 Ks, only 12.2. Kind of what I expect. I wouldn't be looking at him. I would definitely be looking at the Yankees bats against Kachanowicz. So no one has a home run, but they were able to string hits together and runs. So Jason Dominguez, he led off on Tuesday. If he is in there and leading off, obviously like him leading off. Judge makes sense. Grisham makes sense. DJ LeMahieu is a cheaper option. Ben Rice is there. I don't know why Pablo Reyes is still on this list because he has been DFA'd. So pretty much I'm looking at the Yankees 2+ type stack here where I like more than 5. So I'm going to have more exposure to him. Angels bats against Yarbrough, like Nito has a home run. Soler, Mike Trout all have home runs against him. Those are pretty much the only bats that I would use against him. I'm probably not going to use them, but if you are wanting to go against the grain, those would be the bats for the Angels that I would feel comfortable with right now through 10,000 cents. So go to the next one. You got Arizona Diamondbacks at the Toronto Blue Jays. It's Erod, and then so sometimes DraftKings is okay with it. We look at this. They think it's going to be Eric Lauer, who is probable. So he will start Wednesday. Okay, so I was waiting on that news. I wasn't sure. It's been back and forth between actually starting and being a bulk reliever. Really hasn't gone deep into the game, so I wouldn't be using him at all for sure. And then Erod coming in. Splits-wise, home games, he's been better. On the road, he has not been good. He's 6.91 ERA, averaging 12.2 fantasy points. Nothing tells me here that I want to go with that at all. That's kind of where I'm at. I'd probably be looking at the batters in this one overall. So just kind of looking, Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Eugenio Suarez, Gerardo Perdomo, and Josh Naylor are probably the ones I'm looking at against Lauer. And then the bullpen, because we don't know how deep Lauer is going to go into this game. And then Toronto bats, Vladdy, George Springer, Bo Bichette, for sure. Come down here, maybe a little bit of Addison Barger. Maybe Alejandro Kirk. If he starts, I don't know. I don't know if I want a ton of exposure to this game. If I am taking one, it might be Arizona bats over Toronto. But again, both of these pitchers are iffy. I wouldn't use either. Minnesota at Cincy is next. We do have rain concern, but the wind and the looking at this, it's Great American Small Park for a reason. There's a big chance for home runs, and that's kind of what I feel might happen here if the rain holds off. If it doesn't, then obviously the game might not get played, or you're not going to want to go pitching in this one. You got Nick Lodolo versus Bailey Ober. In this one, Lodolo, 3.76 ERA, has not pitched versus the Minnesota Twins this year. Has not pitched very well, hasn't hit value since May 19th against Pittsburgh. That always scares me a little bit. When he pitches at home, he does have a 5.85 ERA. Minnesota bats can hit lefty, so that's definitely one to look at. Then you got Bailey Ober, 4.40 ERA. You've got 4.22 at home, 4.65 on the road. I'm probably fading the pitching, going the bats overall. Minnesota bats against lefties, like Willie Castro is a big, cheaper bat that you could use. Carlos Correa batting 286. Buxton batting 306. Bader maybe at 236. Not the best average. Ty France, kind of the same thing. Ryan Jeffers, last year, we took him against lefties all the time. He's just not hitting very well against them this year. So that's probably what I'm looking at. You could always look at Trevor Larnach, but he's only batting 167 this year against lefties. And then Cincy against Ober, Encarnacio Strand has a home run. TJ Friedel has a home run. Those are the only two with home runs. But against righties, they are hitting very well. Trevino batting 333. Ellie batting over 300 with double-digit home runs. Encarnacio Strand batting 261 with 5 bombs. Lux batting 303. Will Benson batting 259. Friedel batting 311. Like, these are great bats. Those would be the ones that I'd use in this one. I'm avoiding the pitching. We got to wait for the weather, though. That's the problem here. Monitor that weather moving forward. Mets at the Braves. And again, this is obviously being filmed the night before all of the games have commenced or completed. So if you watch yesterday's video, or if you watch Tuesday's video, you saw that there's a ton of weather concerns. So these pitching matchups might change a little bit, and we'll obviously monitor that situation. So then you got the Mets at the Braves. You got Chris Sale, who was supposed to pitch on Sunday. Then they said he was going to pitch on Tuesday, and then they moved him to Wednesday. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. Because he last pitched 8 days ago. And I don't know if that's going to mess with him. Like, this is always my concern. Pitchers are creature of habits. Every 5 days, they go out there and they do their thing. I don't know. I haven't dug into the numbers to see if more than 6 days rest or 8 days rest makes sense. Okay? Or 9 days. He hasn't pitched in 9 days. Sorry. So you look at that and it's like, is that going to affect him at all? Not 100% sure. But it's definitely something to just keep in the back of your mind. Against the Mets, he has not faced them this year. Which, okay. Again, I'm a little bit weary paying up that. Kind of looking at that. But when he pitches at home, he's got a 283. So he's been very good. We obviously know he's a very good pitcher. In his career, 65 plate appearances, 306 batting average. So he's actually gotten hit by the Mets in his career. Still has 107 strikeouts right now. Then you got Paul Blackburn pitching. Splits-wise, game log. Like, he's only pitched 3 times this year. Coming off 4 earned runs, 0.1 innings there. I don't know. Yeah, so Singa's on the IL. I don't know how deep he's going to go into this game. The Braves have been a bad team, but I don't trust Paul Blackburn. Mets bats against him. Lindor has a home run. Soto has a home run. Against lefties this year, like Torrens batting 320. I don't know if he gets the start. Probably not. Acuna with 270 batting average. Jeff McNeil 313. Juan Soto 313 with 3 bombs against lefties. Like, these are okay. The thing is, I don't know if I want to pay up for Chris Sale. Now, we know he's a stud. But the extra days of rest might do something in his head. It's kind of something we look at there. Keyword of the day, coconut. This isn't the best flavored water. It's actually kind of bad, but coconut. Use that for your information. Braves bats against Paul Blackburn. Like, they haven't seen him much. Right-handed pitching, though, they are hitting very well. Ozuna batting 254. Austin Riley batting 285. You got Ronald Acuna batting 452, just smashing righties right now. Michael Harris batting 242. Verdugo batting 279. Like, I'm pretty convinced I want to look a little bit more towards a Braves stack here. But then, yeah, I'll kind of do some information digging, see how he does on extra days rest. And that'll be up there with some of our simulations for the morning. So I don't trust Blackburn at all. I'm a little bit weary on Sale for the extra rest. That's the only thing. I think I'd rather look at the numbers first. I feel at the moment more comfortable with the Braves as a stack, though. So use that information as you will. So this one I don't think has been confirmed yet. And that's the problem. Baltimore has not confirmed unless they have right now. Okay, so he has now been added to the taxi squad. He wasn't like the last time I looked, like 2 hours ago. He actually did pretty decent against Boston, 6.1 innings, 5 Ks. He has struggled in AAA. And he's going up against Tampa Bay in this small ballpark with the wind blowing out. That does scare me. Because as you saw, like, his numbers were terrible last year. Then he got traded. Like, his numbers, he was good for Miami. Then he got traded, and he was very bad for Baltimore. They've sent him down. He's only been up once. So that's definitely one to look at. And then Bradley here. Splits-wise, he has not faced Baltimore this year. When he's pitching at home, he's got a 456. Just with the wind in the ballpark, I'd rather just focus on the bats in this one. I don't trust anything else. So if I'm looking at Baltimore bats, it's Gunnar Henderson and Ryan O'Hearn. Jackson Holiday. And there is rain in this situation, so that's definitely one to look at. Did they bring Simpson back up? Nope, they have not. What? Batting 293. Wild. Adley is another one I'd look at. If we're looking at Tampa Bay bats against Rogers, Brandon Lau, Josh Lowe, Yandy Diaz, Aranda are all ones that jump. Junior Caminero is another one that jumps out. I think there could be a ton of runs in this game. If the weather holds up, I want nothing to do with the pitching. I think I feel a little bit more comfortable with Tampa Bay as a stack, but I'm okay there as well with Baltimore. St. Louis at the White Sox is the next game, and of course we've got rain concern yet again. Sonny Gray versus Sean Burke. Sonny Gray coming in, has not faced the White Sox this year. 2.85 ERA at home, but does have a 5.89 on the road, and he is in Chicago on this one. Game logs coming off a bad start against Milwaukee. 6 earned runs in 4.1 innings. Good game against the Dodgers. Great game against Texas. The White Sox are a bad team. In his career, 76 plate appearances, 274. So it's been pretty decent. But then we look at Sean Burke. So Burke comes in 4.71 ERA, minus 3.2, 17 against Detroit, 17.9 against Baltimore. Great game against Texas. Been very inconsistent. Splits-wise, he's never faced the Cardinals before. When he pitches at home, he does have a 3.68, so he's a little bit better. I'm probably still not using him. I'd rather focus on Sonny Gray in this one. St. Louis bats, obviously never seen him before, but against righties this year, like Burleson batting 302, Brendan Donovan batting 352, Mason Wynn batting 276, Victor Scott batting 264, Nolan Arenado batting 217 with 6 bombs. I still feel a little bit more comfortable there. And Ivan Herrera, if he gets the start, batting 309 with 3 bombs against righties this year, batting 312 on the year total. 3 of his 8 home runs have come against righties, though, so he is a little bit better against lefties. So be that as it may, I would look at Sonny Gray, and I would look at the Arizona. I would look at the St. Louis Cardinals as my stack if I'm stacking this game. And don't feel like you need to stack all the games, guys. We're just breaking each game down for you. Same thing. We're in Chicago still. We got Milwaukee at the Cubs. We got Tyon versus Mizorowski. Now, Mizorowski is probable. He obviously had a great start to the day against St. Louis, and we loved it. He had a no-hitter going, 5 innings pitched, 5 Ks, but had 4 walks. He had 22.9, but then he rolled his ankle and was out. He could always, I guess, tweak that ankle or half or whatever it is in warm-ups here. But he's in a great spot. He showed some triple-digit stuff in that game. So he is in a great spot there. And then Tyon coming in. When he pitches at home, he's got a 272. He's already faced Milwaukee once this year, 6 innings, 1 home run, 21.1. Tyon does have the most amount of home runs given up, so that is definitely something to think about. But he's already had success against them. So if I am looking at this game, in this situation, looking for bats, Milwaukee bats against Jameson. Rhys Hoskins has 2 home runs. Yelich has 2 home runs, and Jackson Chourio batting 5 for 10 with a home run. Just sees him well. Against right-handed pitching, William Contreras, Turang, Yelich, Chourio. Those are my 4 that I would look at. Could look a little bit of Sal Frelick, who could get in there, and Rhys Hoskins will be another one that I'd look at there. Then Chicago bats, obviously they never faced him before. He's pitching very well. So, or in the one game, I don't know. He could have a great game here. At the moment, through 10,000 sims, I don't want the Cubs bats. And weather being a concern, we always got to watch this as well. So, looking at that, I'm probably, if we were going to go Cubs bats, Carson Kelly, Michael Busch, Dansby Swanson, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Kyle Tucker would be the ones I'd look at. Seiya Suzuki if you need a 5th one, or to fill out a lineup there. At the moment, I don't want anything to do with the Cubs. I like Mizorowski just a little bit more than I like the Cubs bats. Then we got the Royals at the Rangers. Got Chris Bubich versus, it's not been confirmed, Patrick Corbin, but it should be. He did last pitch on Thursday. Really hasn't, he hasn't imploded like we're used to, but he hasn't really value what we need. Went 5 innings against Minnesota, 3 walks, 6 Ks, only got 15.9 because he does give up earned runs. Against Washington, he had 8 innings there, only had 2 strikeouts and 17.5. That's a problem. In his career, it's been a weird career for him. Really good with Arizona, signed with Washington, was terrible. Like, he's not hitting the value that we need, especially at 7,500. He's capable of it, and the Royals' offense has been atrocious. Scares me a little bit. Then you got Bubic. Got lit up by the Yankees, 4.1 innings, 5 earned runs. His ERA is still 2.03, kind of maybe pitching above his means. Splits-wise, he has not faced Texas this year. Their offense has been a little bit lackluster. You look at that. At the moment, I don't mind either of these pitchers. He actually pitches better on the road, averaging 22.3. I like both pitchers. Looking at that, I don't want the offense right now. Now, the offense can change. We'll update that. We'll look at the simulations and stuff. But offensively, I'd rather take just a Bubic in that one and move on since we have 11 games on this main slate. Looking at the next one, Cleveland at San Francisco. Logan Allen versus, it looks like, Verlander. Not 100%. So it is 100% now. I don't trust him. He's got a 4.50 ERA. Has not pitched in exactly a month. In those games, he's going, you're getting about 85 to 90 pitches, but he has not hit value whatsoever. And he's going up against Cleveland. I want nothing to do with him. Logan Allen, it is a massive ballpark, so it is a pitcher's ballpark. Logan Allen, 4.28 ERA, has not faced San Francisco this year. Only 10 plate appearances against him, so they really haven't seen him. Coming off 22.5 against Cincy. Struggled against the Houston Astros, the Angels. Out of all teams, only went 1-0 because I think it was a rain delay and then he got yanked. But he had 10.3 in 1 inning, which is wait, how did he get a W? Oh, he came out of the bullpen then. Okay. I was like, you can't get a dub, but he came in the bullpen, that's why. So, I don't remember that, but he hasn't hit value either. Probably looking at the bats in this one over the pitch. I don't trust Verlander. I don't care. He could have a great game. I'm not on his bandwagon. Against him, like J-Ram has 2 home runs. Santana has a home run. Against right-handed pitching, they are hitting very well. You got J-Ram still batting 294 with 11 bombs. Santana 251. Nolan Jones, Stephen Kwan batting 317. I would look at them. Gabriel Arias might be another one that I'd look at. Maybe Manzardo because he does have 7 bombs, but only batting 203. Then San Francisco, really haven't seen him, like I said, against lefties this year. Not ideal. Jung-Ho Lee batting 292. Casey Schmidt batting 250. Elliot Ramos batting 257. They actually don't hit lefties very well. Wilmer Flores batting 231 and Willie Adames batting 132. I may take Logan Allen here just because they are not hitting lefties well. It's a massive ballpark too, which gives a boost to your pitcher. The next game, Houston at the Athletics. Again, it's a small ballpark. The ball flies out of there. Got Framber Valdez versus Severino. Valdez, 53 plate appearances, 184 in his career. He has not faced the Athletics this year. When he pitches on the road, he's got a 389. But he has, look at these numbers, 29.9, 33.6. But look at these teams that he got to face. His last 4 teams they were terrible. He got to face like the bottom tier teams. And then Tampa Bay, who's come on strong, but he had a complete game, 9 strikeouts, 40.4 fantasy points there. He has struggled. The wind is blowing out in this one, but I would give him a little bit of an advantage there. Then Sevy comes in, 4.47 ERA. Home games, got a 7.10 ERA. Already faced Houston once this year. 6 innings, 2 runs, one of them earned only 4 Ks. Very low. Got 15.9, which is okay at 6,700. You can afford that. Maybe you throw him in tournaments, but career-wise, we'll see. The wind and the weather in this game scares me to take pitching. Valdez, I would Valdez above him, though. Houston bats against Sevy. Like Yonder Diaz has 2 home runs. That is it for home runs. But against righties this year, Paredes batting 263. Cam Smith batting 259. Christian Walker batting 227. Altuve batting 273. I like those guys. Cheap option would be Jake Myers or Cooper Hummel. Or Hummel's on a different team, right? Or no, he went back to the Astros. I think they just called him back up. So that's what I'd look at. Athletic bats against Valdez. Urias has a home run, and Brent Rooker does too, but they're not doing much. And they really don't hit lefties very well. Rooker does at 327, Jacob Wilson 385, and JJ Bleday 316. Other than that, they don't really hit lefties. You could look at Framber Valdez there. But again, ballpark factors, weather, stadium scares me there big time in that game. And then the final game is San Diego at the Dodgers. Stephen Kolek versus Emmett Sheehan, who's coming off the IL. He hit May 2024 Tommy John surgery. Don't know how long he's going to. 4 outings in the minors, logging 397, tossed 3.1 innings. So, yeah, I fully expect this to be a workload where I don't trust it. 3, 4, 5 innings max. I don't trust that. Kolek here, 6.50 ERA. When he pitches on the road, he's got a 1.75. So he has been good on the road, but only in 6 starts. So you could throw Kolek in there because I think everyone's going to be on the Dodgers. I don't trust Sheehan whatsoever. But if you didn't want to go that direction with those pitchers, I'm not doing Sheehan. San Diego, they've seen, 6 at-bats, doesn't count. Right-handed pitching, though, this year, you got Luis Arraez batting 289, on-base machine. Machado batting 321. Gavin Sheets batting 289. Tatis batting 307. Matt Merrill batting 315. Is Jackson Merrill in the IL? Is he coming off the IL or he's just on there? Yeah, he can't. Okay, he's on the IL. So Merrill is out. It's just So I would use Tatis, Gavin Sheets, Machado, Cronenworth, Luis Arraez for sure. Can mix and match with other ones if you feel you need to. Dodgers bats against Kolek. Obviously, really haven't seen him. Against righties this year, Freeman batting 351. Ohtani batting 290. Pages batting 287. Teoscar Hernandez batting 232. Muncy batting 280 with 9 bombs. You could look at those guys. Will Smith, another one, 293 with 3 home runs, if you do please. So pitching-wise, I'm not using either of them in cash. Kolek maybe for tournaments, but at the moment, not using. So there you have it. That is the early slate done. That is the main slate done. It is now time to give you guys all of our 10 out of 10 matchup ratings through 10,000 sims. There's not many. 1 is Aaron Judge. 2 is Acuna. 3 is Brenton Doyle. 4 is Kyle Tucker. 5 is Gleyber Torres. 6, Alex Call. 7, Brendan Donovan. 8, Harry Carpenter. 9, Tyler Freeman. And 10, Zach McKinstry. Not many 10 of 10. Those are only through 10,000 sims. So after we do another 10,000, you get a total of 20. Then check back. You might have some success. Probably there'll be more than what we had there. So now we're going to do the pitches be crazy. Number 1, and this is we look at the pitchers going up against the bottom 5 teams and how many strikeouts they have. Ryan Yarbrough versus the Angels is number 1. The Angels strike out 9.7 times per game, 9.5 on the road. Number 2 is Mitchell Parker versus the Rockies. The Rockies strike out 9.69 times per game, 10.05 on the road. Number 3 is Luis Castillo versus Boston. Boston strikes out 9.28 times per game, 10.31 on the road. Number 4 is Garrett Crochet at the Mariners. Mariners strike out 8.92 times per game, 9.03 at home. And then finally, Taj Bradley versus Baltimore. Baltimore strikes out 8.85 times per game, 8.92 times on the road. So again, number 1, Ryan Yarbrough. Number 2, Mitchell Parker. Number 3, Luis Castillo. Number 4, Garrett Crochet. And number 5 is Taj Bradley. Now we are going to look at ballpark. What I'm talking about, we call this Makin Bacon. So we are going to look at the batters we think could get 2+ bases for you. Don't parlay all of these together, but you can parlay some of them. Number 1 is Aaron Judge. Number 2 is Brenton Doyle. 3 is Luis Garcia. 4 is CJ Abrams. 5 is James Wood. 6 is Gleyber Torres. 7 is Jose Altuve. 8 is Ronald Acuna Jr. 9 is Brendan Donovan. And finally, 10 is Tyler Freeman versus Mitchell Parker. Now, obviously, don't parlay all 10 together. You can parlay some of them together. And then strikeout-wise, let's look at this. These are kind of the lines I would look at. Garrett Crochet against the Mariners. If you can find a line for 7+ or 8+ strikeouts, I feel comfortable with that. Let's just hope they don't pull him early. Number 2 is Skubal versus the Pirates. 7 or 8+ strikeouts again. Number 3 is Framber Valdez versus the Athletics. 7+ strikeouts. Number 4 is Luis Castillo versus the Red Sox. 6+ strikeouts. And number 5 is Ryan Yarbrough versus the Angels. 5 to 6+ strikeouts is what I would feel comfortable with those guys. So there you have it. That is the breakdown of every game, the early slate, the main slate. That is the all of the batters with 10 out of 10 matchup rating. That is the Makin Bacon and Pitches Be Crazy. I did have 2 people reach out. One has signed up for the yearly pass. If you guys are interested, we have a Father's Day special still going on. Instead of $199 for the yearly pass, you can get it for $75 with our Father's Day special. All you got to do is email me right now, dfshelp1@gmail.com. It is first come, first serve for that. So now we're going to build you a DraftKings tournament lineup using the information we just went over. Again, this probably will change later on after 10,000 sims, but this is a great starting point to kind of get your mind set for this slate. So obviously the majority of the great pitchers are on that early slate. Chris Sale is there. I'm very weary about using him because of his price, and he's had 9 days off. That scares me a little bit. I come down here though. I don't want Kachanowicz. Logan Allen would be cheap if he gets in there. Could be a cheap. And again, this is a tournament only, and it can and will change. I think I'm going to go Bubic here. I think I'm going to go Mizorowski. So I didn't pay up over 10K for them, but we look at this and we are okay with it. And looking at just kind of the other games that I'm looking at, you could look at BVP. If some people like BVP, some people don't. What is that? That's batter versus pitcher. So not everyone is a fan of BVP, which I get. But if we were to look at this, like Lindor hits Sale really well, 412 batting average with 2 home runs. If we just look at that and we just build a lineup off of like batting average and stuff, Rhys Hoskins against Tyone does pretty well. So you're averaging about 3,700 the rest of the way, give or take. If we look at like who to stack as well, if you think Tyone's going to have a bad game, you want to go Milwaukee, like Yelich makes sense. And again, this might change a little bit, but we're averaging right around 3,600 the rest of the way. So if we need a catcher that's in a good spot, Yainer Diaz is in a great spot. He is 3 for 7 against Sevy with 2 home runs. So he sees the ball well for whatever reason against him. So you could look at that. You got Yainer Diaz, and he fits in that aspect there. So you need second base. Just kind of looking. Gleyber Torres, that's part of the early slate. We can't do that, unfortunately. We look at these. Not much. There's not much second base-wise that have had success. If you wanted to go down here and maybe look at like you can come down here. We talked about this. Willie Castro against a lefty. I'm okay with that. Then you got third base. Kind of looking at third base. Jordan Westburg, 2 for 4, so not much. Other than that, they haven't had a ton of at-bats or hits. So if you come down, Isaac Paredes in this ballpark at 4,300 brings us down to 3,100 for an outfielder, which we can come down here and we can look right around like a Spencer Steer in this ballpark. Harrison Bader in that ballpark, same ballpark. Miles Straw against Erod. I don't know if Miles Straw will get the start. We can look at him real quick and see. Splits-wise, when he's at home, 254 batting average with only 1 home run. Really hasn't done much. Would be like one of those one-off guys that you could use. I might go, right now, maybe go Miles Straw. Maybe Spencer Steer. If we look at Spencer Steer, splits-wise at home, 234 with 2 home runs. Away games, 3 home runs. Game logs, if he's in there starting. I don't mind Spencer Steer there. So this is just a tournament lineup. You guys don't need to go back and forth all the way. Bubic, Mizorowski, you got Yainer Diaz. Yainer Diaz and Paredes together for your Houston. You've got 4 Milwaukee, if you count the pitcher. You got Hoskins, Yelich, and Sal Frelick. Now again, it's in Chicago. There is rain concern, but Taillon does give up the most amount of home runs this year so far. So that is a lineup. If you guys liked me building this lineup, definitely let me know, and we can continue that in the future. That's what I've got for your video. Have a fantastic, I don't know why it does this. I am in a great spot. Have a fantastic Wednesday, hump day, whatever it is. Good luck to everybody. Go find that keyword that I said in this video. Good luck. Have fun. DFS, sports betting, whatever sport you're playing. Thursday, we'll have PGA, so we're already working on the PGA content for you. So Good luck, and as always, you know what to do. Bring home that bacon. Peace.